A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning.
Baby, you been rolling solo. Time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side. If you know what I mean, I show you shit you never seen. The 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman. That ain't my style. Need a real street stalker. Walk a green mile. Piling up the paper on the dining room table. Cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable. Keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man that need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life. Watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC. Simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK. Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp? And what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame. You know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning.
Hello, everybody. It is Arty of Arty's Corporate Fiction. Happy Tuesday to all of you. We have a relatively short stream, but I think it's going to be a good one. A friend of mine linked me or notified me of this pretty wild incident happening in Judge Middleton's court that happened yesterday, involving a landlord-tenant dispute. The tenant is facing eviction. That's about all the details that I have, but I was told that it gets pretty wild. I don't believe the individual involves a sovereign citizen, but it's a little bit of unhingedness that happens here. So welcome everybody. Just gonna wait a couple of minutes for everybody else to chime right in. And right off the bat, thank you right up yours for 35 months. Pretty appreciate it. The boys are doing good. Oh, I'm watching Winston like an overprotective parent for like the last several days, making sure he's breathing well. I gave him right before the stream started. I just gave him his medication for the evening, and he has a checkup with his primary on Friday to get I think like a kit I think it's both like blood and urinary analysis to make sure everything's on the up and up. So beyond that, you know, Winston's acting like his usual old man self, so it's all good. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome Celine, Goddess, Epiphanies, Thea, Link, Hope, Pitchbot. Welcome. All right, let's move it on to the main channel, the main event. Like I said, this apparently happened on Judge Middleton's stream yesterday, involving a landlord-tenant dispute.
All right, I'll finish this. You may be able to reach an agreement with the other side, which means that a conditional order of dismissal could be prepared, and we can either help you find it or show you where to find it or give you a copy, or more likely the attorneys would prepare it. You may be able to reach an agreement by going through mediation by the local Citizens Mediation Authority program. If you are interested in that, we can help set it up, but both sides have to be interested, and so far that hasn't been. Patricia Rice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right,
I'm gonna move bring this up to 1.25 speed.
Went through the advice of rights. You missed a couple. You have a right to hire an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you may be able to get assistance from legal aid. You have a right to have your case heard here in St. Joseph County. You have the right to demand a jury trial and pay the $50 fee if you wish. Lawrence Rice is here with me at the courthouse. Donna Carter is here from the law firm Trot and Trot. This property is at 68420 Man Road. There are two Man Roads. One is near White Pigeon, one is near the Cass County line in Fabius Township. This is the White Pigeon one. Who is in the house?
Me.
All right, so Lawrence is in the house. Patricia, you're no longer there.
No. No, I'm not there, sir.
All right, gotcha. All right, this is a mortgage foreclosure action. And I'm missing some of the pleadings. But there was a sheriff's sale on May 5th of 2023, and the property has been sold. And the plaintiffs claim that you're a holdover after expiration of the redemption period. So it's likely that no payment has been made on this property in quite some time. Ms. Carter, what's your position here?
Yes, Your Honor, you're correct. The redemption expired several months ago, and we're just hoping to get a date for possession of the property. We're not seeking any monetary issues, and no, there had not been any payments for quite a long time.
Says my video's been turned off.
Patricia Rice, when did you vacate this property?
It was probably 2017, 2018,
out for a
somewhere around
while.
there.
Were you husband and wife?
Yes.
Are you divorced?
We're not divorced. We're separated. We've been separated ever since. We didn't get along. So
I
I had to move out.
need to get, all right, so you're still married, but you don't live
Yes.
there. All right, Mr.
No.
Lawrence Rice, what's your position?
My position is, my last employment was Horse River Plant 59. I spent 10 days in a scaffold with a fellow employee who had COVID-19. I then caught COVID-19. I missed 8 days' work, and I was terminated my employment. I was also denied the My Half grant. The grant's $25,000 to anyone who has lost income from COVID-19. I also filed my disability, same time. I've waited
Wait, is he talking about the PPE loan?
2 years, no disability. I have emailed everyone from Donald Trump to you.
Oh boy.
I have sent a courtesy report into this very courtroom. I have mailed courtesy reports to this very courtroom. I have never heard anything. I was molested in the Golden Nugget Casino with a pop bottle twice by Brett Wierzinski, and it's all.
Ooh. Oh, okay, what the hell? Oh my god. Well, that went from zero to 20 to 100 immediately. What the hell?
recorded on his phone, and no matter how much help I ask for, I am denied everything. Not only Mrs. Rice's family, the Mann family, needs to be investigated for Dorothy Jane Scott's disappearance and murder in the 70s while we were all in
All right,
Chandler, Arizona.
all right, well, let's back up.
And the FBI, Mr. Middleton, one more thing. I
Okay.
spent an hour on the phone with the FBI
It wouldn't be an unhinged rant if at least one of the 3 letters was mentioned.
discussing Dorothy Jane's murder and disappearance. And the minute they figured out they had Crossfire investigation on the phone, disconnected the phone call.
Who's Crossfire Investigation?
It's an investigation the FBI did, spent $30 million following a civilian that was running driveway, delivering motorhomes and buses.
Okay. You're holding up some stuff that you.
Well, this is the courtesy report, and it's not complete. I need someone to, because my writing and everything's not real good. And the courtesy report that was sent to Las Vegas, Nevada, I believe I need to sit down with a deposition, and I need, no matter what I've done, I called the prosecuting attorney, left 3 messages here. I talked to Officer Lackey, a state police officer about this. I have been repeatedly, whoever was entering my house, Mr. Middleton, if they turned in a lottery ticket with a grease pencil mark on the back of it, plus my signature on the top of it, that's my winning lottery ticket that night.
Hey, what is happening right now?
I checked a lottery ticket and it had 4 numbers on it. And because of the cameras in my home, and because of dirt cheap, Cody Johnson, Josh Gossip didn't write it. Lawrence Rice wrote it, and Josh Gossip rewrote it. And
What, the winning lottery
is
ticket?
he part of the FBI that comes in and removes things from my home? And
I
no matter
have
how many
no
times I
idea.
try to change the lock, every time I change the lock, this one behind me, maybe change it back because I can't change the lock because that's her home too.
Well, you're gonna have to move. this property,
My half grant should have went through, Mr.
well,
Middleton.
they're not asking.
Loss of COVID.
They're-
That would have paid this. That would have paid this
Well,
last year. That would have paid just before the redemption period was over with,
well,
Mr.
The
Middleton.
redemption period did not get paid. This property has not been redeemed. It was sold at a sheriff's sale.
No. That's at 6 months. This is an agricultural property that has a 1-year redemption period. Better look it up, Mr. Middleton. And I've been denied legal aid as a United States of American citizen. I am allowed attorneys for court, and I have been denied. No matter how many people I called, no matter how many attorneys I called, and the Michigan Bar Association in return has denied me help. And I do believe, like this case, Mr. Trump's case needs to be moved out of the United States of America so I can get a free trial and he gets what he deserves.
Who gets what he deserves? Trump? You say he could only get a free trial outside the U.S.?
Your Honor, it has been a
Well-
1-year redemption period.
Yes, the sheriff's sale was.
And if my half grant would have
Stop,
went through,
stop.
the 25,000 would have caught my home up.
All right, well, it
It
didn't.
wouldn't have got foreclosed on.
All right, Mr. Rice, let me speak and I'll let you speak.
Okay.
The sheriff's sale was on the 20th of April of 2023. It was a year ago, more than a year ago. And you've been living there for several years without paying anything on the loan. The bank has foreclosed on your loan. Don't say it. If you'd have won the lotto or somebody given you some money to redeem it, great. It didn't happen. That's not the bank's fault. You're not entitled to court-appointed counsel in a civil case. Now, there's some talk about doing that. I don't know who's going to pay for it. If you were charged with a crime, you certainly would be entitled to have an attorney to represent you. You're not charged with a crime. There is someone here from legal aid today. No matter what, the law requires that I continue this matter at least 7 days. But you're living there. The payment is several years in arrears. No payment has been made for several years. They gave you a 1-year redemption period. It was not redeemed in a timely manner. They waited a few more months, and then they filed this action. And the property was sold at a sheriff's.
Wait, so they gave him a full year to try and pay up, and he paid nothing.
So you're what's called a holdover on a mortgage foreclosure, and they want you to move so they can sell this house. That's really what this case is about.
And if my half would have went through, I wouldn't be here.
Well, it didn't.
And
So,
why didn't it go through? Because I caught COVID in that scaffold,
Well,
a
I don't-
4x8 box with a human being with COVID-19. There was no way I was not going to get it.
probably not. All right, I have to continue this matter until next Monday, August 5th at 2:15. Does that work for you, Ms. Carter?
Somebody will be there from yes.
All right,
Is that an
Mr.
in-person or can
Middleton?
it also be a Zoom?
it will be by Zoom.
There's one other thing, Mr. Middleton, I would ask, that we had children molested in Constantine, Michigan public schools with a pop bottle twice, and the community came at me for it, and not Brett Wrzezinski, who recorded everything on his phone. It's all on his cloud, and his phone number is 574-206-3767. And I was molested in the Golden Nugget Casino with a pop bottle twice, and the court system doesn't want to do anything for it because it's Donald Trump, and he's better for the United States of America.
Stop.
Well, I don't know
Stop
what to say.
saying that.
Mine's split about 49-49, and they're 2%
Well,
in
this
the
is
middle
the
there.
Nevada law that shouldn't be allowed.
Well, I'm not into that. I'm in Michigan, and
And that's right.
the cold hard truth is, they're
That
probably.
you're an oath taker that should stand behind the laws, very laws that you wrote, Mr. Middleton, the very laws that you wrote.
Well, I didn't
Well,
write
not you, they have, but you're here to
I was going to say, I don't think Judge Middleton wrote the
back them
laws.
up.
And that's what I'm doing.
I know.
Is it 98 asks, is addressing Judge Mr. Middleton appropriate? Absolutely not. But I feel like Judge Middleton, he kind of realizes what he's going through, what he's dealing with, and he's just letting it slide because this guy is clearly like off his meds, if he even had any in the first place.
He's here because
No,
I'm expressing myself as a senior citizen that paid taxes for 49 years that can't get assistance, but we'll bring refugees in and give them from the day they walk in this country. And
well,
100 million households in this country, if they were smart, would cough up $1,000 so we could build our own economy.
Right.
all
No,
right.
They ain't no think so about it.
Now,
That's
let
exactly
me-
what that would do.
let me
That's
tell you-
$100 billion a year for the common citizen to build a retirement account that the Social Security Administration won't do. Or this courtroom as oath takers for the citizens, truth and justice for all. And this is truth and justice for Trot Law and U.S. National Bank Association, Mr. Middleton. the owners of Indiana, Michigan Power that are gonna run power through my property, Mr. Middleton. And I am sorry, I don't want to disrespect this courtroom and I don't want
And
to.
everybody clapped.
You're being respectful. You just have
Okay.
strong opinions. But let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to adjourn this matter 7 days. And 10 days after that, you're going to be subject to being evicted, where the sheriff comes and pulls you out of the property and throws all
Okay.
your stuff out on the street. So if
And
I
I
were
can't
you,
stop that, brother.
I would start, you got 17 days to start
To
to.
move out 38 years, 38 years in that home, Mr.
This didn't
Middleton.
sneak up and bite you in the ankle. This has been going on for several years.
And I've been trying to get help for several years and I get the same thing I'm getting from you.
Well,
And excuse me, Mr. Middleton, I do not want to disrespect this courtroom, but just like I'm getting from you, just like the citizens of America are getting from oath takers, not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. Kraken Lacken, thank you for the $2. Man.
all right, well, we'll end on that note. I will see
Okay,
you
God bless.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sir? Sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes,
It- so-
Patricia?
So what's going on?
All right, we're going to continue this hearing till next Monday at 2:15. At that point, he's going to get 10 days to vacate. And
And what do I do with this, Mr. Middleton? This is an ACP phone, and when I called for neglect and abuse charges last Friday, they disconnected my service. What do you want me to do with this? It's 269-464-3303.
Stop!
I don't
Stop!
have any advice on that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
would.
Ms. Rice, you're entitled to be here
Yeah.
next week once again.
Okay, I got it at 2:15.
Yes,
Am I allowed to go to the house and get my stuff, sir?
yes, I would suggest that you do that because this house is probably going to be ordered to be vacated within the next 17 days.
17 days from now?
Yes.
Well, if he's not out of there, sir, I'm afraid to go in there and get my stuff.
Well, I might recommend that you
Mm.
be here next week. We'll have you coordinate with Sergeant Morse or somebody else, the person that's going to serve the eviction. Meg, you probably don't want to get into this with a teaspoon or a shovel.
I
Are you
would
willing to-
actually- I would be conflicted from speaking with Ms. Rice,
All right, so just be back here next week and we'll discuss that.
unfortunately.
All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. I'm
Have a
sure
good
you'll
afternoon.
want to have someone else come here next week for that hearing, so I will be here.
Goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
bet.
General Civil Titans here. I can't come to the service. At 1:45 seconds.
Have them come in.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I was not expecting. Well, no, I was informed that it was going to be a wild one, and yeah, that did not disappoint. Because I feel like because I've dealt with sovereign citizens, and I've watched so many sovereign citizen videos, especially from gurus like David Straight. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at like kind of like mincing their stream of consciousness rants pretty well, but that one was pretty tough. Ooh. Cerebral and Jennifer, thank you for the 12 and 22 months respectively. Thank you very much. Also beforehand, Becca, thank you for the 9 months. Thea, thank you for the 32 months as well. All right. Matt. So that was actually pretty quick, but I think there are some. I think OSG has a couple of new ones that I haven't seen yet. And we can watch one or two of those and okay, so he has one involving Judge Sister that's an hour and a half long. So that might have to be its own live stream all on its own. It's between a Judge Simpson and an attorney, so that might be pretty interesting. So I might have to look at that. I have not seen any of that, Celine, and I'm not interested. update on the Moors. I mean, I haven't heard any updates on those who have yet to go through trial now. It's not the defense attorney just repeats himself a bunch. Ah. Let me see. Ooh, Judge Ricky.
Can I give her a hug? Can you leave, please?
That's up to the officer.
You're not going to be constant in court.
Sorry.
This is in the District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas, case entitled State of Kansas versus Holly A. Reynolds. It is case number 2021 CR 137. Jill Gillette appears as Greenwood County Attorney. Richard Paw as Defense Counsel. Holly Reynolds now appears about 15 minutes late. Ms. Reynolds, this proceeding was scheduled to begin at 1:00 p.m. today. You weren't here until 15 minutes later. Why is that?
The road construction had a pilot car and we had to wait for the pilot car. Like about 10 minutes outside of town. Last time they didn't have a pilot car when they had the road construction. So we weren't prepared.
We have all participants on the meeting now. We will proceed further. This is scheduled further here.
So we're already off on the wrong foot. Especially when you're a defendant. If you're going to appear at court, if you're a defendant, man, be there like half an hour early. If not an hour early, if you can. Like, you don't, the last thing you want to do is start off on the wrong foot by being late to your own hearing.
Hearing on a warrant to show cause matter. The court believes that the current allegation before the court is failing to report to her officer as directed. Is that a fair summary, Mr. Ketley?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I may address you further later regarding it. I also will note for the record that there was some research done regarding the issue of continuing jurisdiction of this court over this matter. The court does note that at a previous hearing in this case, where the probation in this case was reviewed, I believe that was the hearing of November 18 of 2022, the court reinstated probation and extended it for 1 year, 12 months from the original expiration date. I think the original expiration date would have been January 27 of 2023, which means that the 12-month extension went to January 27 of 2024. The warrant to show cause that's before us today was actually filed even before the expiration date on this case. So it's the court's ruling that it has jurisdiction to proceed further. Mr. Paw, what are your client's intentions regarding the failing to report to her officer allegation?
That was done on January 11th, but it wasn't filed until the 10th of April, Your Honor.
You mean the service return on it wasn't filed until the 10th of April?
No, she was arrested on 4/7, Judge. Okay, looks like everything is, no, that is correct, Your Honor.
All right, the court will proceed further then. And again, your client's intentions?
Judge, when I spoke to her last time before we had this issue, her intentions were at that time was to waive her evidentiary hearing and admit to 2 violations as outlined in the motion to revoke probation on 4/23 of 24.
All right. Ms. Reynolds, you've been present when your attorney made an announcement on your behalf that you would now intend to waive any formal due process hearing that you'd otherwise be entitled to. And instead stipulate and agree that you committed the failing to report violation, which was alleged by Mr. Ketley in his most recent warrant to show cause. In waiving your hearing, you'd be waiving the right to require the state to present evidence and prove the allegation by a preponderance of the evidence. You could challenge the state's evidence with the assistance of your lawyer, Mr. Paul, present your own evidence, and confront the state's witnesses unless good cause was shown. Among other lesser remedies that the court has, the court could consider an outright revocation of your probation and having you serve the remaining balance of your sentence locked up. Ms. Reynolds, do you understand these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it your intention to waive a hearing in this case and stipulate and agree that you committed the failing to report violation as alleged?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court finds that the defendant has knowingly waived her right to a hearing in this case and stipulates and agrees that she committed the failing to report violation as alleged by Mr. Ketley. I'll obviously ask for recommendations from counsel, but I want to start off with Mr. Ketley. Mr. Ketley, your allegation was made some time ago. What has been the track record of performance of your client since you filed this warrant to show cause in January?
I don't believe haven't had any contact with her, Your Honor,
Not good.
since I think the last time she reported me on October 18th, and I set her up for November 1st, and then I haven't heard anything since then.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ketley. Ms. Gillette, based on what's currently before the court, what are the state's recommendations regarding an appropriate disposition here?
Judge, in this matter, we had a previous violation hearing. She was to have a 60-day sentence or sanction. There was a compassionate release for her due to her father passing away, allowing her to go to the funeral, which is not usually a thing that always happens. Sometimes we just say you're in trouble, it's too bad, you don't get to go to a funeral, but in this case we allowed that for her. She was to have 60 days done as a sanction last time. Promises to do what she needed to do, promises to go to treatment. And here we are with her basically absconded. So with her absconsion from supervision, she just took off. And with her taking off November 1st, 2023, she didn't report and hasn't reported since. Normally, when someone's in trouble, they get right back in and talk to their officer and get into treatment. But instead, Ms. Reynolds has not done that. So my recommendations have to be an outright revocation based on her being an absconder and refusing to comply with anything with her ISO. She still had a balance due at the time that we filed the motion to revoke probation.
What is that current balance?
It was $858 at that time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Paul, as defense counsel, what is your recommendation regarding an appropriate disposition here?
Judge, I would ask that the court sanction her and then reinstate her. I know she's been working in Newton. I know that she's been working hard on her sobriety. I believe she would tell the court that, as evidence today, she didn't have a ride. She lives in Newton, Kansas. Judge, I also don't believe that there's been any other criminal matters against Miss Reynolds during this whole time, which is something we rarely see in these cases. Usually when people are not reporting, they're out doing bad things. And from what Miss Reynolds tells me, she's been out doing good things, trying to better herself, work a job, keep that job. And so that's why my recommendation, Your Honor, is to sanction her with what you feel is appropriate and reinstate her.
Very well. Holly Reynolds? At this time, I would address you personally, and I'll ask you, do you have any personal statements that you wish to make to the court in mitigation of punishment here, or anything further that you personally would like to present to the court, in addition to what Mr. Paul has already presented on your behalf?
I'm sorry for being absconded. I didn't become absconded just for no reason. It was just, I had a mental breakdown because my dad died. The guy I was with for 10 years died from kidney failure. It was just so many deaths, one right after the other, that I couldn't handle it anymore. And I mentally broke down, and I quit seeing everybody. I quit going to corrections. I quit going to work. I quit doing everything and got really depressed. It's been really hard on me. I mean, there was 5 deaths all within a year. I mean, It was really bad. And I'm still trying to deal with it, and it's hard.
Okay. Anything else?
I feel like the problem is that we have is
no, so I will perceive that you.
I mean, it's one thing, like, say you're having a breakdown because of this and that, to avoid I mean, I don't. Well, let me put it this way: I don't know what they mean by reporting. Does that mean like physically going to meet him personally, or is it a phone call? I mean, if it's just like a phone call, with your probation officer, I feel like there's not really much of an excuse you can give, because I feel like that's the bare minimum, that's being asked. But yeah.
Completed your statement to the court. Ms. Reynolds, you were placed in this case on reporting probation with a heavy emphasis on the word reporting. ISOs often are very aware of community resources that their clients can be referred to when they're having stressful situations. I'm not making light of the pain that's associated with any of the deaths that you referred to in your statement. Everyone has to deal with the tragedy of death at some point in their lives. When you've had a history of any type of drug offenses, it's really important that you stay in contact with your supervising officer.
Yeah.
Let him know what's going on with you, and then let him make the appropriate referrals or to try to get you some sort of assistance with whatever problems that you're having. What you cannot do is just check out and use that as an excuse to stop your program.
Yeah.
What you do in that instance, Ms. Reynolds, is essentially say, I am not a candidate for the reporting probation that the judge wanted me to complete. Rather, what you're essentially doing is saying, I will just face the music of doing my time.
Yeah.
That apparently is where we are in this case, Ms. Reynolds. You've had ample opportunity to correct your behaviors, report to your officer, seek his help, if necessary, demand his help, and to utilize the resources that are out in the community to keep you in the community. You've elected not to do that. On top of that, Ms. Reynolds, you're habitually late for court, including being 15 minutes late today. And indeed, there may have been some road construction and a pilot car situation, but you should have left earlier.
Yep.
You should allow extra time. I just don't think you take court seriously, Ms. Reynolds, much less supervision or probation or anything else that was involved in your case. So the only viable alternative is what the prosecutor recommends in this case, and that is an outright revocation of your probation, and that will be the order of the court. The court finds that this defendant has been willfully non-compliant with the terms and conditions of her probation, that it's not in her best interest to be on a probation, which she clearly is not amenable to successfully finish. Holly Reynolds will make promises and not follow through on them. But she's been given ample opportunity and even been punished for previous non-compliance and doesn't even take serious jail sanctions seriously enough to conform her behavior to what's expected by the court.
Yeah, bear in mind this wasn't her first violation, my understanding, and they gave her another chance.
Therefore, the court does order Holly Reynolds to serve the remaining balance of her sentence in Department of Corrections custody. The court orders her to be taken into custody by the representatives of the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office until her custody can be transferred to serve the remaining balance of the 20-month prison sentence that was originally ordered in the case. With that said, Ms. Gillette, I would ask your office to do appropriate research and determine the appropriate number of jail time credit days to which this defendant is entitled and include that in the journal entry of revocation, which will stem from today. I do know she has some jail time credit. I will note that she does have a 12-month post-release supervision period, which this court re-announces. And I believe that she was in a 20% good time credit category with this particular offense of possession of methamphetamine, a level 5 drug felony. All right, with that order made, Ms. Gillette, is there anything further that you need clarification on?
No, I was looking up her jail time credit. And I don't know if she's got any charges out of Saline County, but she did spend an overnight in there in June, so.
All right. I will say that whatever balance exists in this case is declared to be immediately due and payable and collectible. It can be referred to collection agency for further handling.
What if I can pay it?
No additional fees will be imposed today. It does appear that her balance previously was $858, but the court will not add any more bids amounts, despite Mr. Pa's involvement on her behalf and representation. Court finding that I don't think she's got the financial resources while locked up to pay additional amounts. All right, Mr. Pa, are you aware of anything further we need to address today?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much for your timely appearance here today,
Hold
Mr. Pa.
Hold on. Can they give you?
Yeah, can I get a week to prepare for this?
She is my
This
employee.
is 27 months of my life that I'm gonna be locked up. I need to say bye to my kids.
Wait, how? Wait, who? How long?
Hold on. Can they give you?
Yeah, can I get a week to prepare for this?
She is my
This
employee.
is 27 months of my life that I'm gonna be locked up. I need to say bye to my kids. And
I'm
my
not
job.
understanding a thing you're saying, ma'am.
Can I get at least a week to be able to say goodbye to my kids and my family?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
My employee, sir.
Okay.
And she spent the last 2 months getting her life together, at least for that much.
But yeah, and she just stole my line. If you were working competently for 2 months, why haven't you been reporting to your probation officer?
To come and work for me.
This court disagrees. Getting her life together would have included reporting to her officer. And she didn't even make the effort to do that one time, according to Mr. Ketley. So I'm not sure what your involvement is here, sir, but the court's order stands. She's in custody of the sheriff's office until she can be transferred to the Secretary of Corrections in their custody.
Get my affairs together, like at
No.
least 20.
No, I'm not going to defer your time. You need to go into custody today, Ms. Reynolds.
Sir, can you leave, please? Can I give her a hug? Can you leave, please?
That's up to the officer.
You're not going to be cussing in court.
Sorry, sir.
Uh-oh.
Jill, did you have something else you needed to bring to the attention of the court?
No, Judge, I was just filling out all of the notes that I have to for the journal entry. I've started.
Thank you to the officer on scene of being able to take her into custody at this time. If there's nothing further then, excuse me? Sorry, did I hear someone?
I was talking to her. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay, again, thank you. If there's nothing further than the Holly Reynolds.
So Deacon said something that I kind of agree with, and it's something I think I've talked with other people before, is that it does seem like the whole post-COVID, with the emphasis on, or the fact that Zoom meetings and conferences, web conferences have become pretty much the norm, or I don't want to say the norm, but it's a hell of a lot more frequent and accepted. I feel like there is a sense that people take court less seriously when they're in their room, in their house, in front of a camera, instead of being in person, in court, in front of a judge. I think that there is something to that. Because, courtrooms, the atmosphere, especially if you go to one of the, the classic courtrooms, we have, up in North Jersey, the county courthouses are actually really beautiful. They're very grandiose and, if not intimidating, for sure. And I feel like that's completely lost when you're in the comfort of your own home. And I feel like people take court less seriously when they don't have to, they barely have to get dressed to get ready for court. Yeah, like that one dude in the other video that we saw last week, where he was literally in his bed, taking a nap, I guess, while he was waiting for his case to be heard. Yeah. Anyhow, I think there's a lot of other videos I haven't seen that are like non-sovereign citizen related in OSG's lineup that I haven't checked out, but they're pretty lengthy, and I don't want to get this to go on too long. So, but there's some they look pretty interesting. I think the one that between Judge Simpson and his attorney for a $2 million bond could be interesting. So I'll have to save that for stream. But I want to go ahead and close this up. Like I said, I want to keep this short and sweet, but I want to appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Caught in a zoom out of a porta potty. Wait, I don't remember. Wait, I don't think I've seen that one. Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like playing Starfield. Okay, Starfield is like very calming for me, and it's helps with my anxiety. Okay, not like Liza P. or Elden Ring. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. As always, thank you to all of my subscribers and members. Thank you for all the tips and donations. I will be sure to give Winston all the hugs and treats that he deserves, as well as my Eek in tow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we'll be watching tomorrow. We might continue on with some courtroom videos to take care of. But yeah, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, and then we'll be back at the body cam crazy on Friday, okay? But appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves and have a good rest of your evening, okay? Adios. Bye.